Like a puppet on a string. Hello, welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to Crafters TV. We are very musical today, let me tell you. I'm just giving you the advance warning right now. This could be a very musical show because we have lots of songs in our head already, let me tell you. I'm Derek, if we've never met before. Hello, I am Joe's stand-in when we let him off for a few days, but I'm not on my own, don't worry. In fact, I've got two other people with me today, so let's start with the gentleman that is with me right here in the studio. Very, very musical this morning. It's the Laird with the Beard. Here he is, it's our Craig.
Good morning. Gosh, it really is all musical, isn't it?
It is.
If only you could see, we say this many times, but if only you could see what goes on literally seconds before we go live. Love that music to kickstart Masterclass, and it's all about Sarah, and it's all about a rose gold collection. This is the first show that I have had that's been fully dedicated to the rose gold. You know how much I love rose gold, you know how much I love this collection, so you know how much I'm going to love this show. It's going to be a cracking, fast-paced 2 hours.
First for me as well, because this is the first time that I've seen the entire rose gold collection, and I'm very, very, very impressed with it as well. And I'm loving this, aren't you? The Rose Gold Gemini Junior. It is in the show and ready for you to buy today as well. It is absolutely beautiful. The foil press, because we're going to be foiling today as well. That is there for you. Lots and lots of offers to shop the show. We've got lots and lots of collections as well within the Rose Gold collection itself, which you can buy as one complete collection. You can buy as smaller bundles, or you can buy as individuals as well. So if you are topping up your stash, then today is very much the day. Now, I did mention that it's not just Craig with us today. Oh, no, 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 no. Via the wonders of modern miracles of technology, let's go to upstate New York. And waiting for us there in her store, as I like to call it, is lovely Christine in New York. Morning, Christine. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. All the better for seeing you again. Thanks for coming back on, because it's quite bleary-eye o'clock in the morning there, isn't it?
It's very early.
Or
it's very late.
You always manage to look so fresh as a daisy, no matter what the time of day is, Christine. It's miraculous.
I was just going to say it's a definite miracle. Thank you. No, thank you, though. Thanks.
Now, listen, we know that you are the queen of paper pads. So when it comes to the Rose Gold collection, how many paper pads, Christine, have you got in the Rose Gold collection?
I have 9 big pads and 9 smaller pads.
Oh, okay. So you've got 9 of the 12 by 12 and 9 of the 6 by 6 as well. And have any of them been christened so far, Christine?
Well, of course.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. Now, listen, you're going to be crafting along with us, along with Craig, aren't you? Because you love the Rose Gold collection. What is it when you first got the Rose Gold collection and you dived into it first time? What appealed to you about it? Why did you have to have it?
Well, anything Sarah's signature collection is going to be good, but the papers were amazing. The rose gold color is just awesome. The whole collection's really beautiful. So
it is
it's elegant.
It's irresistible, isn't it? It's just that air of class about it as well, isn't it? You've just got to have it. And there's so many different elements to it as well, isn't it? There's so many different directions you can take it in as well, isn't there?
And definitely, and you can use them with a lot of other sets you already have too.
Lovely. Right, you ready to get crafty though? I know it's crack of dawn where you are, but you ready to get crafty along with us?
Sure thing. Am I supposed to be doing what he's doing?
Well, you can do whatever you want, Christine. It is fine. We're going to be back with you right the way through the show, of course, as well. But we need to have a look at this big, gorgeous collection, which is the rose gold collection from Sarah. It's Sarah's very own collection, of course. It's amazing. It's awesome. You may have seen it before. You may have thought way back, well, maybe when it launched, maybe it wasn't the right time for you to get in and grab it. Maybe now in the masterclass, because Craig's got some brilliant, brilliant ideas to go through with this collection. Maybe today's the day to go for the complete collection. Now, here is your complete collection. Now, to be honest, it took the team such a long time to get this display together this morning, let me tell you, because there are so many elements to it. I mean, you have just everything going on here, Craig, don't you? You've got stamps, you've got embossing folders, you've got foil stamps in there, you've got accoutrements, as I like to call them, galore.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can take this in thousands of different directions, can't you?
It really does. Now, what I find with Sarah's Rose Gold collection, this one absolutely pulls in so many techniques from all over. So you've got your embossing, you've obviously got your die cutting, but we've got stamping, we've got foiling, we've got heat embossing, there's glitter in there, we've got glitter glues in there, there's sequins, there's flower forming foam in there as well. So many different techniques that you've maybe learned over the last few weeks, months, year or so with us at Crafter's Companion. We've pulled all of them in to this one collection of Sarah's Rose Gold, and it is phenomenal.
Honestly, it is incredible. You just want, I'm stood next to it, and actually as we were putting everything out this morning, I was just, I want that, and I want that, and I want, and listen, once you've taken a little bite, you know, it's like the most delicious ice cream. You've got to enjoy the whole thing. So Craig, give us some of the ideas that we can, the directions that we can take this in.
So there really is so many directions you can take this in. So you can see from this one here, we've got obviously some die cutting, but we've also got some stamping and colouring as well. So you can do your smaller cards if you want. We've got embossing folders. Absolutely love this one. So we're just looking at the background there, look at that explosion. But you get the dies as well with the sentiments. So many different sentiments. You've got the shaker elements just, there we go, just there as well. You get sequins as well. All these little stars, all these little pieces at the bottom, such as lemons or limes, they're in there as well. You've got these frames, again, more sentiments. You've got these really on-trend funky flowers that you can see just there that die cut as well, including obviously the paper pad in the back. You've got the embossing, you can see on these ones as well. Now look at those flowers, they're all included as well. So you've got all that detail, the background as well as the foreground. But then why not use your edgeables so you can start to frame them? There is some of the flower forming foam. So within this one here, what you can do is actually use it within the quilling element. But if you've got any of your flower dies, why not use your iron or your heat tool to be able to form them? This one is using the one for the foil press. So again, this explosion here, you've got that to use with the foil press. We're going to be making something very similar. Doing your ink techniques with these ones here. Little small gift wallets that you can see where you can just pull them out. Now look at that one just there. We've got the slider.
Wow, how cool is that?
That could be a wee gift wallet as well. Again, more and more smaller cards, 5x7, 6x6, 4x4, 8x8, making the edgeable so it's a nice big large frame in the background there. You've got your stamps as well. You've got all your different accessories. Not forgetting you're getting your glitter glues, you're getting your embossing powders as well. You're getting your ribbons, you're getting your sequins. You're even getting foiling for the foil press as well. There really is so much. When I say it's taken so many different techniques from us at Crafter's Companion, pulling them all into this collection, it absolutely is.
It's only Sarah that could do a collection like this, isn't it? It's just completely and utterly awesome. Astrid, I'm on the Crafters TV Facebook page, by the way, so come and join in on the comments. I love a gossip with you. Astrid says it's totally lush. Everyone should be going for the Rose Gold collection. Mitch says, good morning from sunny Southampton. Kirsten says, love the Rose Gold Gemini, and we're going to be talking about that in just a second because it is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it is, isn't it? I mean, you know, you may already have one or two Gemini machines, but when you see the Rose Gold one, when you see that it's kind of like that limited edition, that kind of, you know, creme de la creme machine, you think about that, pride of place in your work area. Now this is UK and EU only. Of course, this one $199.99. But I have to tell you, I mean, if you've gone for the rose gold collection in any way, shape, or form, and maybe you've just bought one single 6x6 paper pad so far from the rose gold collection, you kind of got to have that Gemini to go with you. It's kind of got to be done, hasn't it? I absolutely love it. Now, we can break down the larger rose gold collection into smaller collections as well. So we've got an essentials bundle to show you, which I'll show you right now. Now this has the paper pad, it's got the ornate frame die, it's got the embossing folders of that confetti burst that we just saw with Craig, the rose blooms, diamond lattice, the decorative rose frame, it's got the love sparkle wish, happy birthday, quilling flower and elegant roses dies, it's got the 2 sets of A6 sentiment stamps, so the sassy and the interchangeable. We should have a look at those in a little bit more detail in a wee while. It's also got the modern roses die and the flower forming foam. You're saving 20% on that. So if you're a platinum member in the UK, that's £72. If you're a platinum member in the US, that's just $84, and that gets you a huge chunk of the Sarah signature rose gold collection, which is lovely. I love it. Right, now we've also got a little bundle for you as well, which has the holographic rose the sparkle frame foil stamp and die, which is brilliant. I mean, really, really good. I mean, I've got one here which is foiled onto acetate. It looks amazing. And you also have the holographic rose foil in there as well, which is really, really good. Now that is £20 or $24.50. Awesome. So if you want to ease your way into the rose gold collection, but to be honest, you know, once you start, you will not be able to stop. Now there's also a bundle of the embossing folders as well, which is this one here. So it's the 4-piece collection. So it's confetti burst, rose bloom, diamond lattice, and the decorative rose frame. And I tell you what, the directions you can take all of these in conjunction with many other sets that you've got is just brilliant. £23.50 in the UK, $31 in the US, saving 15% on that beautiful bundle there. And we've also got a stamp and die set bundle as well with a nice little saving. So that has got your bundle of sentiment stamps, so the 2 sets of those. There are 3 stamp and die sets, the scent with love, sparkle and shine, and the birthday wishes. And that's the one, is that the one with the cupcakes? Yeah, the little teacups and the cupcakes in it as well, which is really, really lovely. £46 or $57 on that one for you. And we also have the metal die collection as well. There are lots of different bundles for this. Don't worry, the demos are coming, I promise. So this is a bundle of 8 dies there. So you've got Love, Sparkle, Wish, Happy Birthday, the Ornate Frame, the Rose Quilling Flower, which is so, so versatile, the Elegant Roses and the Modern Roses. So very much a floral theme in there. I love that little mini frame die. It's just beautiful. That's £49 or $65. Again, a nice little saving on that one for you. And finally, Esther, we have the embellishment collection as well. So maybe you've got the big bundle already and you're going through your embellishments 10 to the dozen, then go for it right now, because this has the dimensional glitter glue, the sequin pack, the mixed ribbon pack, which keys in with the rose gold collection, plus the embossing powder and the fine glitter as well. £16.50 or $22.50. We also have, and this is mainly down to Christine, I have to tell you. We had to put the paper pad in on its own somewhere as well, just in case Christine needs to top up as well. So you've got the paper pad there, the 6x6 paper pad, which is absolutely beautiful. So many different designs there. There's glitters, there's foiling, there's overfoiling on there. Beautiful, beautiful designs. So, so elegant as well. £9.99. So if, like Christine, you need some for stroking and some for using, then you can top up very, very easy individually. Right, we've also got the foil as well for you. And here it is. Hello. Here is the holographic rose. Now you can buy that. Oh, then now that. You do get that in the main bundle, don't you? But you can buy it on its own as well. And that's really, really good. So $3.99. Now that's a 5-meter roll, of course, as well. You're going to love that. Anything holographic is just, it's like, you know, you can understand how magpies are attracted to anything sparkly, and that is just so, so beautiful. And of course, remember, that is designed to sit side by side that rose gold collection as well, which is brilliant. £3.99 or $5.99. Right, okay, enough from me. enough from me. Let's do some demo because I can't wait to see these in action. I've got some samples to show you here later as well. And I have to say, I'm spellbound about what you can do with these, Craig.
I know, it's so cool, and we're going to show you. However, I am going to give you a wee heads up. As Derek's just showed you, this is the foil that you get within that collection. So you can see that one. Look how incredible and luscious that looks. Look at that. However, on the show as well, you may have noticed we've got a nice wee deal with our foil press foils. Worthwhile popping in the actual rose gold that we've got within that one as well, because that will work just perfectly with the rose gold collection as well. So if you're wanting some extra foils, you want some new foils you've maybe not had before, then check out our foil press foils where there's an actual rose gold colour within that bundle as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with the foil press. Of course, you know how I love the foil press. So we have got one of the explosions that actually works with the foil press. So I know I'm going to be using my, it's kind of like our shimmer, our Centura Pearl style cardstock. So I'm going to pop that onto my mat. It's already green, ready to go. So I'm just going to press start, 15 seconds. Today's not obviously about going over the foil press. There's lots of information and tuition across on our YouTube about the foil press. But with this one here, because of the size as well as the cardstock, I know it's 15 seconds. I've put it on the mat. It's just a way to count down. There, and then what we're going to do is bringing in a piece of that foil that comes with the actual foil press bundle of the rose gold. Then what I'm just going to do is lay that over the top, and then I'm also just going to bring in that cardstock. So we're just going to pop that over the top like that, bringing in our foil press plate, sliding that out, and then we're just going to run that through the Gemini Junior. You may have got here in the UK your rose gold Gemini Junior. So that's going to go through. Now with this one, you actually get 3 elements. So you get that main design on the background. However, what you also get is this one we're ready to use as well. That foils the sentiment as well. But then you also get this oval, sort of oval square die. So this actually die cuts and does the matting and layering for your sentiment. So we'll use the sentiment in a moment. Let's bring in our design. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the corner. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start to just peel that one off. Now look at that. So that's on our, your shimmer card that comes within that collection. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Foiling onto all of that cardstock. Don't forget, you can still foil that design onto, your mirror card, your matte card, your glitter card, anything like that. So then what we're going to do is let's just bring this back in, slide it back in. So it's gone back to red just to let me know it needs to come up to temperature. So we'll just get all the wee bits ready. Because this is a nice small foil press sentiment, I know that I can come right down to, I'm going to come right down to about 6 seconds. And then that's just going to give me a moment just to heat up. What I have done already, when it comes to the foiling that we've just done there, I just trimmed it and I've just popped it onto a bit of the gold that you can see there that you get within the cardstock bundle as well. So a simple bit of matting and layering. So that is ready to go. And same with one of the taken one of the pattern papers. Now this was from the original larger one, however you can still do this with the 6x6. You just need to use 2 and just split it down, maybe pop a ribbon or something across, but you can certainly do that. So what we're going to do then is if we then just bring our foil and we're bringing that same cardstock in ready to go. So if I pop that one on and then I'm just going to press start. So again, that's going to do the countdown, letting me know that it's ready to go. There we go. So that's it, double beat because it wasn't quite to green. So popping our foil on, same cardstock again, that can go over the top. And then all that I'm just doing is popping my plate on, sliding it out, we're running it through. Now you can foil that sentiment in with that original foil press design that we've done at the start, or of course you can do it separate. But having that die means that you can then foil into your card, so you could create a shaker element, or of course you could 3D it up, which of course is exactly what we're going to do. So you can see there, if I then start to just take that corner and I'm just going to peel that sentiment off, there we go. Do more of what makes you sparkle. Look at that, that was gorgeous. So I have just taken that die, so that is your outline die that does the die cutting, and we've just run that through, placing that over the top, which gives me that. So that is all that we've just done, and then it's a case of layering it up. We are going to then bring in a couple of the other dies. Now these cocktail dies are so much fun because they enable you to create shaker elements. So let's bring in our Gemini Junior plates. Many of the dies that come in with the rose gold, not obviously all of them, but many of the smaller ones will go through your mini as well as your junior. So I've taken a piece of the gold card as well as the, you can see that nice light pink, salmon pink, rose gold colour. So then let's bring in my die set. So all that I'm just going to do is bringing in the sparkle and shine. So with this one, you get the dies and you also get stamps to go with it. So if I take these stamps out, so they coordinate just perfectly. You've got some sentiments, but then you've also got, it could be the slice of lemon or lime that coordinates with your die. So what I'm going to do first is bringing in this cardstock just here, and I'm going to then just use this outline die, and we're just going to pop that one over the top, and that will then die cut that background that you can see there. So just simply by die cutting it. I'm going to do exactly the same with the gold, but what I'm going to do is using the outline die, I'm then going to pop that one within the middle. I'm going to tape it down and we're going to run this one through so you can see how this one looks. So we're just going to just line that one up into place and tape it. So it's our wafer thin die, so it's our plastic shim, magnetic shim, and then top cutting plate. And although it's our still our wafer thin die, you may have noticed that these are very much a rose gold colour as well when it comes to the dies. So, you know, wouldn't be Sarah if she went all out when it comes to even the packaging as well as the dies themselves. So what I'm going to do is removing all these parts. So let's take that one out and then taking that off. That's going to be left with that piece just there. So we've got this one that's got that wee aperture. Then we've got this one that's got that full background. So then what we can do, let's move all them out the way.
You think of how many celebrations that this can be. It can be
Exactly.
birthdays, it can be weddings, it can be whatever you want to. And it's just so classy, isn't it? You can bring those glasses together. You can put them in with food at a party, at a festival. I think I love it. I think it's great.
It's so much fun. And same with, you know, maybe name placement settings if you wanted to do for weddings or celebrations, you could be using them. Yep, weddings, anniversaries, 16th birthdays, 21st birthday, 30th, 60th. You know, it's one of those designs, it's one of those collections that, you know, would manage to reach all different celebrations.
You could make a nice little bunting with those
Absolutely,
glasses as well, couldn't you?
Of course you could, absolutely. So all that I've just done there is I've used that same die and cut it into acetate. Now I know it's hard to see, but we do have a bit of acetate, and I just trimmed off the bottom there. So that gives me the perfect size for the top of the cocktail glass, champagne glass, gin goblet, whatever you want it to be. So we're going to place that one over the top like that. So then that gives you your acetate on the back. So you can see that there. Then what we're just going to do is if I bring in some of our foam, so let's bring our scissors as well. So what you want to do is bringing in your foam, and I'm just going to cut just a few slithers. Because we're going to be using this as our shaker element, we need that wee bit of height all the way around. So if I just cut that bit just there.
Do we need to create kind of like a seal?
That's exactly it.
So
yeah.
so that foam needs to go all the way around, doesn't it, to echo the shape so that the shaker elements can't drift off anywhere else.
That's right. This is why it really is important to use a foam tape. You will find, you know, or you notice that I always use foam pads. The thing with foam pads is, because they're really small, you need to make sure, as you just said there, Derek, just taking that back and
You'd need so many of them, wouldn't
you?
you?
Need quite a lot of them, and you need to ensure that you've not got any gaps in between them. So that's why you want to make sure it's a nice long foam tape.
So you can take it round corners then, can't you?
That's it, yeah. And you can see just with that corner just there, if I pop this underneath, you can see how I'm meeting that right up to the corner, right up to that join. There's no gap, there's no nothing, so nothing can fall out. So again, just work our way all the way around. So I'm just working that around. So take another bit of foam tape. So it's easier if you're using your foam tape, just do little strips at a time. The main thing is, as long as your connecting joins touch, then you know that you're still going to be fine. So let's just pop that one all the way through just there, working the way all the way round. So just creating that seal like you say. So we're just going around, going around, going around. And then when it comes to that end, I'm just going to snip, ensuring that meets right up to that corner, which it does. So then what I can do is bringing in that backing again. You can pop a bit of foam along there just to stabilize it if you so wish. I'm just going to take the backing off. So if we peel all of that one off there, and then that's just going to enable us to pop some of our sequins in the middle. Now you could add extra things if you've got any gems, if you've got any microbeads, you've maybe got some glittered sea salt left over from when you've done your sparkling techniques. You could be using that. So many different things. Alternatively, you don't have to use it as a shaker element.
Sonia's just said something that actually, it really chimed with me, because actually when you see the rose gold collection with your own two eyes, it's very, very different in a way to what you see on the screen. Sonia just said, I meant to say I bought the rose gold mega collection recently, and I've got it and I've just started my first card. But this is more beautiful in person than I can imagine. And I can really, really get that, because what you see on the screen, because we're in a studio and there's lots and lots of light and everything else, you don't always see everything absolutely truly. So I would definitely chime with that. When you see it, when you hold it in your hands and you see the magnificence of the foiling and the paper pads and just how beautiful everything is, I think you'll be super impressed when you get it home. It's a good point.
Completely agree. Completely agree. Because sometimes as well, like shimmer or in with the paper pad, you've got that foiling, you've got that glitter. You don't always see that effect until you've got it right in front of you. So all that I've just done there is I took the backing off the foam tape. I've just popped some of the sequins in. Then all that I'm just going to do is just layer that one up. So we're creating that backing, we're creating that seal. So if I pop that one on, and then we can be able to see if I bring that in. So if I pop it that way, you can see we have got that shaker.
How classy is that? Now that's so good. That could be a cocktail bar menu now, couldn't it?
Of course it could.
Just absolutely brilliant. I love it. I love it. I love it. We've got a challenge for you later as well. There's quite a few people later, Craig, would like a demo of the perfume bottles as well. And there's a couple of people who've had a couple of different ideas about them as well. In fact, Cynthia said she used the perfume bottle as a flower vase, and that just shows you how versatile this set is. I love that wonderful. What's the foil stamp called again? It's just like a firework display.
So it's called Sparkle Frame, but yeah, I call it as Explosion. That's what it's like, isn't it?
Gorgeous, isn't it?
And just to say as well, we will come to it later on, but you've also got a coordinated embossing folder as well that also works perfectly with it. And this probably is one of my favourite embossing folders that we've done.
It's so cool, isn't it?
It really is. So all that I've done now is I've just taken that die cut sentiment that I've got, do more of what makes you sparkle. That's then just going to pop into the middle just there. Then what we can do is we can bring our cocktail glass that we've got there, and then I'm just going to add a foam pad just into the corner, so we can pop that one in just round about there. Then what I've just done is I've got these ones already, but what I'll do is I'll stamp a couple out just to show you. You can of course either die cut then stamp, or stamp and die cut, whatever you prefer. I've got mine ready, but I just want to show you. So, you know, you get, again, it could be a slice of lemon, it could be a slice of lime, it could be whatever you want, it could be a slice of orange if you want. It's entirely up to yourself, but it just finishes off, whether it's cocktail, whether it's champagne, whether it's, you know, it could be a non-alcoholic drink if it's for maybe, say, a 16th birthday or any occasion like that. Maybe they don't drink. You know, it doesn't have to be alcohol themed as such. So what I'm just doing is we've taken this one. So again, this could be the straw, but then I'm just bringing in, this is just the Bordeaux. This is our quick dry. So we could use that one on. And what I am just going to do, I want a lighter tone. So I'm just lightly pressing on one side. And then the second generation, this is actually going to be the one that I would use, because I don't want a full perfect imprint. So that's the exact look that I'm going for, that we can see just there. And then let's just quickly do the same, just with the slice of lime or lemon. But although I'm saying lime or lemon or orange, you can see I'm going with the Bordeaux red. So, you know, it could be, you know, it could be whatever one you want to use in your imagination. So if I stamp that one out, then what I'm just going to do is bring in all these key elements in. So bringing them in that we can see just there. Then I'm just going to finish it off. We're just going to bring that there and there. So bringing in a bit of foam. Again, you could keep them on one dimension if you want to use your foam tape or your glue gel. But we're just going to bring in that slice of lemon. So we're just going to add that to the top.
Oh, it's a straw, that stamp you were just using. I was looking at the stamps.
Thinking,
I was thinking,
what could it be?
I couldn't see from the distance, but yeah, it's the straw, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Although, saying that, you know, it could be kind of
border,
anything
couldn't it?
that you wanted. Yeah, it didn't just have to be. Use it as a border if you want.
Yeah.
So again, all that I'm just doing is let's just take just a bit of wet glue. So I've just, with a wee bit of scrap gold, all that I've just done is just cut a wee V and then just added a few gems that I had from my stash just to finish it off. And then again, let's just take the straw. Let's just use a bit of glue. We're going to keep this one just one dimensional, just coming out of the glass. And then I'm just going to pop that all the way down. You can chop into it if you want, but I'm just going to press, just holding it into place. And then to finish off, if you've got any gems within your collection, use them. But don't forget, you're getting our glue gel, you're getting our sparkle. So this is our rose gold. So what I'm going to do is, if you want to use it, I always just give it a flick down just so you can get that glue just sinks to the base, just to the nozzle. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to cut the nib off or anything. So using a bit of scrapper that I like to get it going first. So I just over a couple of mils just from the base. All that I'm just doing is just pressing, and then when I've got as much as I want, I'm just releasing with my fingers and just pulling up. So I'll do a couple there. So I always do one as a test. What you can also do, instead of doing it on scrap, if you take the backing off of your foam pad sheets or that, because that is like a grease proof, you can pop them onto there, let them dry, and then they just pick off and you've got your own embellishments. But just to finish off, let's just do 3 at the bottom here. So just as I done, so 1, 2, and then 3. And the glue underneath will dry clear, and then what will happen is you'll get all these 3 gorgeous dots of glitter just shining through. So actually, tell you what, let's go for one in that corner as well. And then that is just what I'm going to do. I'm just going to leave it there. Now that one there, we have incorporated the foil press stamp. We've incorporated the cocktail glass as well, even with the glitter glue that you can see there, and the stamps, just creating a few different elements from that one collection.
Cheers to that. Loving that card. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's really, really good. And that's just like one of the, it's not even 1,001 different ideas, is it? It's so many thousands of different ideas as well. Lots of you are loving this collection as well. Lots of you are topping up your stash of this collection as well. So let's take you through absolutely everything. Of course, the biggest value is always in the biggest bundle. So this is the complete collection for you. 26 pieces altogether. Everything you've seen plus so much more as well. So you've got the ornate frame dies, you've got all the metal dies there, you've got the foil stamp die, the sparkle frame that Craig has just used there. You've got all the embellishments, so the glitter glue, the sequins, the ribbons, the flower stamens, the embossing powder and the fine glitter. You've got the embossing folders, you've got the 2 A6 sets of acrylic stamps with the sentiments, the sassy and the interchangeable. You've got your other stamps and dies and the big metal dies as well, plus the 6x6 paper pad. Now, if we look at the complete saving across everything here, usual price on that one, so £208.74, now down to £155, or $268.70 down to $200. So massive saving there already. And of course, plus you're saving if you're a Club Inspire member. So for instance, if you're platinum in the UK, your price is not £155, it's just $124. And if you're platinum in the US, it's not $200, it's just $160. And it just shows you how valuable your Club Inspire points are at getting you up that ladder. It's an amazing collection, it really is. Now, everything you see there is available individually. I know a couple of people have asked about the luxury card stock as well. I'm asking the question on that one, but we think that it may well all have gone. But I'm going to ask the question behind the scenes for you as well. And I know some people were also asking about the larger paper pad as well. So again, I'm going to, the larger paper pad, the 12 by 12, had gone, unfortunately. And of course, it is always limited edition. So one of these signature collections, quite often, there is the initial run of availability, and then that is it. And that's why lots of people are clambering for the individuals as well. In fact, I had a note from, who was it now? There was somebody earlier, I think it was possibly Barbie, actually had 5 or 6 lots of the sequins on the go. Forgive me if it wasn't. There were so many comments coming in this morning. Keep them coming in as well on Facebook. Now, also very, very popular today is the foil press as well. I'm not surprised at all. Lots of you are going for your foil press. So you can see there the details have come up, £99 or $139.95, which is brilliant, brilliant value for money. Remember that the foil press works in conjunction with the Gemini Junior, so you will need those extender plates, which are on the website if you want to use them with your larger Gemini. Which is good. And of course, you've got the rose gold Gemini as well, which I'm rather loving. Let's go back to New York, shall we? Let's go catch up with Christine and find out what she's up to right now. Hello again, Christine.
Hi there.
Hello. Now, what have you been up to while Craig's been crafty?
Well, I've been making something, but can we keep it a secret? Or do you need to see?
Go on, show us. We're all friends here. You can show us.
Oh, I know, but the outcome is going to be worth waiting for.
Oh, okay, right. So are you mid-project? Have you got something else that you have made that you can show us, and then you can reveal what you're working on right now later? Come on, show us what you've done.
I do. Here, I'll give you a hint.
Okay. Oh, Craig, now look at that. Oh,
all right, that's enough.
Look at that style. Oh, I'm intrigued to know what that's going to look
now,
like.
what on earth is that going to be? Don't tell us yet. Don't tell us yet. That I am loving. I am loving. Now you've got the complete collection, right, Christine?
Of course, and I don't appreciate you blaming me for all the pads gone.
Well, you have got rather a lot of them. In fact, you could open your own store, but of course, we still have.
I'll take the highest bidder.
This is
no,
for
I
you,
won't sell them.
Christine. You can still buy the 6x6 on its own if you need to top up your collection in any way, shape, or form.
I think mine may last me a little while.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think if you've got 9 of the 12x12 and 9 of the 6x6, I think they're going to go quite some way. So give me a rough time scale on that masterpiece that you're working on right now, so I know when to come back.
Oh, come back anytime. I'll show that by the end of the show, but I could show you a thing or two now.
Okay. All right. Okay. Show me. You've got something else there as well, haven't you?
Yeah, four things.
Go on. Go. Ah, now look.
Oh, wow.
Now that is taking the collection in a completely different direction, because actually that's taken the colouring in a completely different direction as well. Now in the flowers,
right,
there, is that using the flower stamens and the flower forming foam? Are they under the acetate, Christine?
Yes, they are.
Oh, there they are.
The bottom piece, I'm trying to get in there. Okay,
yeah,
the bottom piece I did with the glitter ink. And then I embossed it, but I know that's probably hard to see. I embossed it with the rose gold collection, and then the happy birthday. I backed it with the silver glitter cardstock, so it has a shadow. The happy birthdays from the kit, and these are from the Garden of Love collection.
And don't they just go absolutely perfectly? What do you think of that, Craig?
I know, it's a great thing with, obviously, you can mix and match, obviously, Garden in Love and Rose Gold, so pull in what you've got from each other and use them within one another, but just goes to show with that embossing, because don't forget you're getting embossing powders with the collection as well. So it doesn't just have to be, kind of like one-dimensional cards, whether it's easel cards or, whether it's your shape cards, your concept cards, double-edger cards on these ones here. There's so many different things that you can do with it.
Exactly.
Love it. Christine, what else are you hiding there under your bushel?
Let's see. I will show you this one next. Let me put it together.
Okay. There's lots of you online today as well. Join in the comments at Crafters TV on the Facebook page as well, plus our YouTube channel. Lots of you have got us onto the big TV for the first time. If you've got any pictures, by the way, of your makes from the Rose Gold collection, do email them in. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk.
Wow.
What's going on here, Christine?
Check out that triple easel card.
That's right.
How gorgeous is that? Isn't it so sophisticated as well? I mean, that is just so stunning, isn't it?
And see how the flowers there that Christine's used obviously come in with the collection. They're really on trend. And see how they match with the paper pad, even match with the 6x6 paper pad. Because you've got that rose, it's kind of like your rose effect, but you've got the outline of the rose. It's not a full detail. So I just love that effect. I love that triple easel. I've never done a triple easel card before, and that's really got me tempted to do one.
Oh.
And you know, it's funny. I used the paper. I used I didn't do foam on this one. I did paper, and it kind of was different, but it didn't line up right. But still, it looks okay.
But that's the thing. It works.
Oops, sorry.
No, that's me, Chris. That's me. On you go.
I didn't use the big paper pad in any of the things I did today, which is really funny since you don't have any.
Oh, good. You just used the 6x6. It's like you were psychic, Christine.
I know.
Because you
I
have
don't know
them
how
all
that
in
happened.
New York. That's why. They're all in New York.
Psychic.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Listen, show us some more later, and we'll come back to... Now, are we going to give a name to your big master creation that you are kind of working on?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave you to think about that and carry on with it. I'll be back with you in a wee while, Christine. That's lovely Christine in upstate New York, who's working on some kind of, I don't know, some kind of skyscraper mega construction going on there. I don't know. Very, very busy in the comments this morning. Thank you so much. There's lots and lots and lots of you who have got your rose gold collection right now, are taking the inspiration from Craig. If you've got any particular questions, by the way, or anything in particular you would like Craig to demo through the show as well, you know he loves a challenge. You know he absolutely loves a challenge. I know a couple of you have asked about the perfume bottle as well, whether we can use that. Oh, let's say happy birthday to Lisa as well, because it's Lisa's birthday. So happy birthday, Lisa. Right, Craig. Oh, now what's going on there? Now, listen, you're here to work, not to do your ironing. What's going on?
Sorry.
What's going on?
Sorry, yeah. Don't worry about that. We'll do that later on. Yeah, I've got the ironing out. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a selection of different things. By the way, I do need that shirt for later on. It's probably just crumpled now that I've just chucked it on the ground. Never mind, we've got an iron. I can iron that later. Right, we're going to do obviously a bit of embossing. We're going to do a bit of die cutting. We're even going to do a bit of stamping, and then we're going to do a bit of flower forming as well. Now, within the main collection, you get a quilling die. So this one is actually the one that Christine had used. So it works perfect for a red paper, so you can create all your dimensional flowers that you can see. However, you can use the flower forming foam for this one. But what I thought I would do is let's do a bit of flower forming. So I've just taken one of a flower die that we have. So I've actually taken it from the very original flower forming collection we done, because I know so many of you have got this, although you can use any flower die. So I've just die cut a few. So this is just using one of the shades of foam from the collection as well. I've got my iron. I've got this up just below high, and then I've taken a couple of tools. Again, this is the essential toolkit that had come originally when we launched the flower forming foam. So what we're just going to do is we're just going to bring a few of these in as well. So if I bring in this one, so for anyone who wants to know, that was the peony die. So all that I'm just doing is I'm just getting that, just heating up. Now you can use, if you've got your foil press grippers, you could use them. But all that I'm just doing now, I'm bringing in the ball tool end, and I'm just going to press. So I'm just starting to shape the flower. So I'm just pressing that in. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this back in, and I'm just using my thumb. So if I tip it that way, and just gently, I'm just using my thumbs, I'm just pulling side to side, and that starts to pull the actual petals. That starts to expand them. I'm not doing it with a lot of pressure. I want to be really, really careful. So I'm just working my way along, and I'm just going to keep going. So I'm going to do this one as well, and then we'll go to this last one. I'm going to pull that in. We're just going to pull that side to side, and then one last time, let's just give that a bit of a roll, so then we can see how the flower starts to form, hence the name. So let's just take the next one. So with, just in case you wonder, with that die set you get 3 flower sizes of the dies, I have just used the medium as well as the smallest, just in case you wonder. So with this one, I'm just taking the smallest ball tool end, and again, I'm just working my way around, and I'm just pressing. And once again, all that I'm going to do, so even if I leave it like that, can you see how you start to even create the buds? So depending on the size of the ball tool end that you use, you can get a nice different effect. So I'm going to leave that one there. I think actually with these smaller ones, I'm going to do exactly what I've just done there. I'm going to keep it so it's a nice closed bud. So I'm going to roll that around. You can lift the foam up if you want. So we're just going to roll that around. So what we're doing is we're starting to create shape to those flowers. Within these heat tool as well, Leanne and the team have gone out and got these tools so that as you are rolling them, as the heat builds up, the ball tool on the end still retains that bit of heat, that wee bit longer, that just enables you to carry on doing your forming. So I'm going to just roll that one around and press again with a bit of pressure. So we'll do that one. So we'll leave it at the 4th that you can see there. Let's move that. Actually, tell you what, because I've got one last small one, let's do that one again. So you can use your pokey tool like that to hold it into place. Alternatively, what you could also do, if you've got a heat tool, you can layer them all up on your glass mat, turn your heat tool on and just add a bit of heat. That'll start to shape them as well. So if you're maybe a bit uncomfortable using an iron, at home I use a craft iron, but you can, as you can see, use a household iron and just have it not quite at high, just maybe about, say, halfway between medium and high.
Craig,
so, yes,
very, very quickly, can the flower forming foam okay, I'll come back in a minute. No, can the flower forming foam, can it go through the Gemini?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. You can use it, you would use it just like a normal die. What we'll do actually in a moment is we'll run one through just so that you can see. What you'll find actually, Derek, is you'll actually be able to die cut. At one point, I was able to die cut up to 8 layers at once of the foam. So that goes to show how many it can. Tell you what, before we crack on, let's do that. Let's bring in our foam. So
okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt in the middle.
That's a good question.
The flower forming foam is available as well on its own here. We've got the details here, $9.99 or $12.99. In fact, you'll find everything rose gold that we have in stock right now is available individually when you're shopping the show. And if you're watching us on Facebook or something like that, you just literally, you know this, I know, but we have new people joining us all the time. So just go to crafterscompanion.co.uk if you're in the UK, .com if you're in the US, and .eu if you're in the EU. And you literally can shop the show and find everything individually in big collections as you want it. It's there. So how many layers have we got there then, Craig?
So we've got at least 4 there, 4 layers there. So just like you would with any of your dies. Now, the die that I'm using, yes, is a specific one for our flower forming. However, any dies, any flower dies that you've got out there from any of Sarah's signature collections, any collection, any other company out there, you can still use your normal dies, your papercraft dies with the flower forming foam. Mm-hmm. So what we can do is...
Must be an easier name for that, Craig,
no, flower forming.
We call it Triple F.
That's a good one, isn't it? So there we go. So if I peel these ones off, so you just need to just prise them apart because obviously you've got the ends of the die with the pressure, but there is the 1, the 2, so there's 4 with absolute ease. So just like you would with your cardstock.
So it could have been more.
Could be more.
And could you put, here's one, could you have put them with that die? Because I guess the pressure of the machine and everything is so. Could you put a combination of foam and card using that die as well? I mean, I don't know whether you need to or want to, but you might
at the exact same time.
You might need a back set of petals that was kind of more structured. You might just want different texture in there. Could you do that?
You could do, yeah, yeah. I will say, yeah, I don't know where there would be a point where you'd want to do them both at the same time, but absolutely, yeah, no, you can do. If you want to put a bit of card, then some foam on top, because of the pressure with the Gemini, it's going to cut it, no problem at all. So yeah,
okay, one more, Craig, just quickly.
Go for it.
While I'm on a roll now, because we're on, it's like Challenge Craig, isn't it, this morning? You know, you said you'd never made a triple easel card before. Well, I think there's a few folk out there who want to see that happening now.
Okay. That's obviously, it won't be done on this live here, but that's certainly, I've got quite a few coming up over the coming, week and week. So I think we can do that. We can now organise a live where I do a triple easel.
Brilliant.
So I've got 3 layers there. So that's 6 and that's 9 now. So let's pop that one on. and we're going to run this one through. So we're just going to go that through. So just holding that in, because obviously you've got that bulk to the foam. So just feed that up, and then again that's going to do the die. So with that one, again with that die that I use, it's the smallest one. So let's bring this one out. We'll see how many layers it's actually cut. And you can see, so if we take all, look at that. So that was 9 layers. And that's all die cut. So you can see.
And that, Craig, is why Betsy Black calls you the ninja of flower making.
Look, just to prove they are all die cut. That was 9 layers of the foam. So you can see if you want to make flowers, you want to make many of them, you don't have to do each one individually. You can, of course, do at least 9 layers. So if you were to do that, then open up your foam, because you're still going to have plenty of room. You know, you would do it a bit better than me when it comes to the sizing, but you've got all these parts in here that you could still die cut into, so never throw them away. Right, let's then, before we just finish off with this card, let's bring in some of these stamens that also come in. So you've got these flower stamens, so these are very much of it's kind of like a metallic pink on the tips of these ones here. So all that I had done beforehand is I've taken 4 strands and just bent them over, so that gives me 8. And then just using a bit of floristry wire or jewellery wire, I've just twirled a wee bit around the end, because that's going to enable us to feed through. So let's take the ones that we've just done. So let's take this larger one first, and well, actually we'll take the smallest one, because the smallest ones are going to be first. So I'm just going to poke just a hole just within the middle of that first one. Let's do the second one as well, and then I'm going to do this third one. So pressing that, I'm just going to bulk them all up. Then what we'll do is we can take this last one, which is the largest one, and then you can see, so if I just start to manipulate that in, so straight away there, you're starting to create a flower. Then all that I'm just going to do is, I'm just going to take my pokey tool out. I'm just going to feed that through. Now you can, as you put each layer of flour on, you could use your heat tool in between each layer. But what I do is I just pull that one through just with the stamens. Now you can determine how prominent that the stamens are going to be, if they're going to be really out forward, if they're going to be nicely tucked in. Then I would just bring in my hot glue gun. Now you can use your Collall glue gel, however, keeping in mind things like that, you need to wait for it to dry. So really your hot glue gun is the best, because then after a few moments or two, you're ready to go. So within that one just there, we've created that closed bud. Now there's so many different flower techniques that you can do, but that's just one of them using the flower form and foam that come in with the rose gold collection. So let's pop all that one to the side. Let's start to create and do a bit of die cutting. So I'm going to use that flower at the end. So I have got just a piece of white card I've already cut to size, which is 5 by 5. We're going to bring in our rose blooms embossing folder, we can see just here. So let's take this one out. So it is a 5 by 7. Then what I want to do is bringing this one in. I've got, on this side, I've got the deboss, and on this side, I've got the emboss. So I'm going to put the ink onto this side. So this is just our pink tulip water reactive ink pad. So I'm just going to ink that up. Now what's going to happen is that embossed area is going to then transfer the ink into the debossed card. Will become clear in a moment. So let's just pop that one on and close that. As it's what I would say is a traditional style embossing folder, otherwise it's not a 3D. That just means it's our base cutting plate, and then it is our top cutting plate. That's going to run through. And what I'd just done before as well, I actually originally done that on a larger piece of card, and I just cut a wee strip and layered it onto some cardstock that I have. And that's going to be a stopper for what we're about to do. So as we then peel these ones off, so if I then open this, so you can see it from up above, if I open that, now look at that. So all of that deboss has pushed the ink into the debossed area. So you can see that there. But then alternatively, if you wanted to use the other side, you can see where I'd done a bit earlier on. But look at that. So that is embossed without any ink. But then look at the deboss side. Deboss is equally as gorgeous as the emboss. So we're going to use that. So with that one just there.
Craig, if we wanted to, on the emboss on that, if we wanted to use a gilding wax, what would be the best one to go with the rose gold collection, do you think?
Do you know something? A few of them would go. So whether you wanted to incorporate, I know it says rose gold, but a silver would look good as well, depending on the elements that you're doing. But whether, you know, you're doing the Empire gold, the antique gold, it depends on the colour range you want to go to. You know, straight away, if you think, I want one, Craig, what would you go for? Say Empire gold. It's a nice subtle gold, but a real gold would work well with this. But if you want to push the colours, push the boundaries of a more antique look, then bring in the antique gold. But yeah, even the silver would work well.
Because that might be a nice idea.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
A lot of people said you're very, very brave with your fingers and on the iron, by the way. Have you got Teflon fingers?
I do actually, yeah, I do. Heat guns, heat tools, irons. So all that I've done with, that was the one I just done, and I just matte and layered that onto a bit of cardstock. So let's bring this one in, and then all that I'm going to do, Derek, is just take a bit of cardstock again, but I'm going to bring in our ornate frame. So this is also comes in the collection, a nice wee dinky wee frame, and I'm just going to die cut that one. And whoever, look at that, whoever's used this last didn't clean it. Oh, who's getting the blame for that one?
You know who that'll be. We won't speak her name, but it will be. You know who it'll be. You know who it'll be.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I know.
Oh, another quick question as well with the foam.
Yes.
And it was Jeanette, actually, when I was asking you about whether the foam would go through the Gemini. If it's an adhesive foam, so it has a backing, I presume that it would have a backing on it as well. Would you be able to put that through the Gemini as well? So if you had a foam sheet that was adhesive.
You would, if you've got, obviously a foam sheet with an adhesive backing won't be a flower forming foam. However, if you've got a foam that's got an adhesive backing, absolutely, that will go through.
So it would go through?
So it'll go through. Cardstock with adhesive backing and that will all go through as well.
So you could actually, couldn't you? You could have, if you had the right, if you had the right coloured kind of foam, you could have a one-dimensional adhesive foam flower and then form your textured flower on top of that, couldn't you?
Of course you could, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you could, no problem at all. Yeah.
See, it's great, isn't it? You've just got to have a play, haven't you? That's the thing, isn't it?
That's the thing. It's all about just having a play, because you get so much within the collection. And then keeping in mind, your embossing folders, your dies, your stamps, you know, they're not consumable. So if you look after them, they're going to last you a lifetime. You can use them over and over again. But then once your paper pad has run out, have a look to see what else you've got that could incorporate. So your Sarah Garden of Love collection, that paper pad would look really nice with this collection as well. Maybe you got the vintage lace. That would look gorgeous with this one as well. So incorporate other paper pads or cardstocks that you've got. So I just used a piece of glitter card that I have and die cut that one there. So what we're just going to do is let's just start to assemble this now. So let's bring, last but not least, we have got a bit of stamping. So let's stamp one image. I've got it all laid out and coloured, but I just want to show you again how gorgeous these stamp out. White, smooth stamping card. So let's bring in our stamping platform and our stamping mat. We're going to pop that one in. So the dies we showed you earlier on, it follows through into the stamp, so you can see that design there as well. Really easy to be able to colour out if you wish. So let's bring in the stamp set. So with this one, it is the birthday wishes. So they all come with dies as well, and you've got all of these stamps. So it's not just a few of them, you've got all these accessories as well as sentiments. So let's bring in the cake. So let's just stamp one of them. So because I would come along and colour with my tri-blend pens, I'm going to use my Finesse black alcohol ink pad. So let's just stamp that one out, and then we're just going to press into place, and we're then going to release that one, and you're going to be able to see how crisp, how clean, how elegant that stamping image looks just there. So if I even bring that a bit close up for you to see, just so you can see how detailed it is. You've got all those wee parts of the flowers, the foliage, the leaves, the detail of the cake. You can cut into that, you can decoupage that, you can add glitters to it, you can do all these different ones. Lots of tuitions on YouTube when it comes to colouring with tri-blends as well as classiques, etc, etc. So here's a few that I'd coloured before, and on this one I just used a piece of our, well, it's actually some of our rose gold glitter glue that you can see there. So now it is the case of assembling it, which is always the fun part. So let's move them out the way, that out the way, and we'll get our layers in. here's our easel. So this one, it is 5.5 by 5.5. I've just folded in half, and you can see just there, and brought in another piece of white card to pop onto the back to create our easel. So let's bring in, I managed, Derek, to find a tape runner. I say found it, I brought it in from home. I went raking in my box as well. I thought I'm bound to have a tape runner, so I found it.
They are like gold dust.
They are, they're like rose gold dust.
In fact, Joe sent me a little message this morning just to say, and he told me a particular hiding place. He said, because I know you need a tape runner because we need to prepare these cards just that we refer to. So we stick things onto these cards. And he said, I found you a secret little hiding place, which I can't obviously divulge, which has a tape runner in it as well. So I'm really excited because mine has run out.
I know, I think we're all...
They're so easy though, aren't they? That's the thing. So you do go through them, so it's well worth stocking them. Do we have, Johnny, do we have them in stock at the moment, or is that a silly question?
Yeah, out of stock.
I thought that would be a silly question.
So what I've just done there, Derek, just in case you wonder, so I've got my foam. Now, sometimes, doesn't matter, it could be the best glitter card in the world, which, you know, ours is. What you'll find is sometimes that the adhesive from your foam will sometimes just pop off just because of the texture. So all that I've just done is just done a bit of our wet glue, which is our tacky glue gel, our tacky glue, and then I'm just going to pop that one on. So what that does is that glue then dries into the foam pad as well as into the glitter card, and then you know that it's going to adhere to all the fibres.
That's a really good idea, actually, and that's something that not many people kind of sort of tell you. That's a real good top tip, actually, because you would imagine adding wet glue to a sticky foam pad, you'd think, no, the two wouldn't work in conjunction with each other. One would be working against the other, but actually they're helping each other to adhere to the glitter, aren't they? What a brilliant idea.
What happens is that foam pad initially, that'll still grab onto the glitter card to hold it into place, and then over, you know, 10, 15 minutes as the wet glue starts to dry.
Because there's nothing worse, is there? If you spent, you know, hours or, you know, a long time making a card that's beautiful, and it falls at the final hurdle, or when the person takes it out of the envelope, the top comes away from the rest of the card. It's such a shame, isn't it?
It really is. You've spent all that time on. So it's just a good wee tip for you. So I'm just building it, just a couple of more layers. So just adding some of the flowers to the top of the cake. You could expand this cake if you wanted. You could make it bigger or taller if you so wish. So then let's just tip that one forward. Let's bring in that strip that I'd already pre-done. So again, with this one, then let's just bring in some foam pads again.
I tell you, I do want a slice of that cake when you're done.
Does that looks good, doesn't it?
It does look good. What do you think's in it, Craig?
Oh, definitely a vanilla sponge. I think a nice cream within the middle.
Yeah.
I'd want to see...
Stop it, we're only halfway through the show.
I know. I've always just about forgot something. I've just taken a piece of our 6x6 paper pad. That's going to go on the bottom, just there. So this is going to then add that bit of elegance towards the bottom. So let's press that into place. Pop that one on. Then using the same die and stamp set with the cake, I've just stamped out Be Your Own Kind of Beautiful. You can see there. So you could be using them on their own as well if you wanted to. But when it comes to an easel card, it's always good to up the layers on your base because this is what's going to be your stopper. So if I pop that one on, I'm going to lift it up just slightly. I've taken just some of the ribbon and just tied a bow that we can see there. So let's then bring in our hot glue. So I'm just going to add that to the back. That can just sit underneath. I'm then going to bring in my flower. I'm just going to trim that bottom off. We're also then just going to add a bit of hot glue into the middle. So I've got a lot of height to this one. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can just leave it quite flat. It's entirely up to yourself. And then to finish off, if I've got my glitter glues again, I did have them. I had one to the side of me. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Here we go. So what I'm just going to, oh no, it goes right at my side there.
Do you know, we've got some maintenance to do between shows today, Craig, in our 3 hours because my New York clock was about 20 minutes slow.
Oh, was it?
My London clock's about 3 minutes slow. California's all right, and Melbourne seems to be all right, but we might need to do a battery run at lunchtime.
Possibly. I know. It's trying to find batteries as well. Tape runners and batteries are always the two trying to find.
Yep, things we have to do.
So all that I'm doing now, taking that glitter glue, so just like I done earlier on, let's just do 3 small drops. So you can do large ones. So if I do a small one just here, so a little bit of pressure, release, little bit of pressure, release, or you can make a really large one, just keep going, release, and it will start to flatten slightly. And then there we go. If I pop that in there, there's our easel card. So again, we've used many elements. We've used stamps, we've used folders, we've used the dies, we've used the flower forming, as well as the glitter glue, as well as the ribbon as well. So there we go. And
Jolly
this is
good.
one you would make a box for.
Thank you very much, sir. Now get that cake cut up because we all need a slice. We're all like that. We're all so hungry. Well, we are in here, aren't in the control room. They have a big box, which is probably about as big as the foil press box there, which is full to the gills with chocolate. But we can't get near it for another hour.
Nope.
So we're going to have to grumble away, Craig, for another hour. Now, we've got some tools that will be very, very useful for your flower forming. You've got your moulding ball tools. There they are. So actually you get it's 6 different sizes of ball in 3 tools. I don't like the way the word ball and tool are just a bit too close to each other for my comfort. £11.50, $15.50. Now here's something, Craig, that I might need your help with actually, because this is a petal distressing tool.
Yes.
Now I'll need your help with this because what happens here? Does my finger go in this? It's like a little boat, little purple boat going on there.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if I've actually got mine at hand. I don't think I do, so we will get it and then we can show you. But what you would just do, if I just bring this one in. So what you can do is taking your die cut flower from your foam. So all that you would just do is fold them over. So you're just folding all the petals into one. So you can see just there. So then just kind of roughly just fold it all up like that. Then you're going to pop that onto your purple mat. Yeah. Then you're going to pop your finger over the top into the wee finger grip, and you're going to roll back and forward.
Oh, I see.
So
right.
The texture on the mat goes in one direction, the texture on the finger grip goes the other direction, so that friction starts to do the distressing of the flower. We will get that one, and then we will show you throughout the remaining of the show.
Alrighty, okay, well we'll see if we've got one for you as well. £7, $11.50. Now listen, the majority of what is happening in this show today is people stocking up, restocking and adding to their rose gold collection. So lots and lots of people are buying individually. So I'm going to go through some of those items individually for you. Some of the most popular that we've been spotted that you've been buying so far in the show, and I'm not surprised because they're absolutely beautiful. So the Confetti Burst embossing folder, really popular. I'm not surprised. You know, it's one of Craig's favourites in this collection as well. It's really beautiful. So that's there, $5.99 or $7.99. Remember, there are various bundles as well. So there is an embossing folder bundle. So have a look at those as well and pick out your best value. There's the Rose Blooms border. That's the one that we were just working with in that last demonstration there, which is really beautiful. Then there are longer ones. So this is 1 1/4 inch by 7 inch. So I'm guessing for those easel cards, it's for making the borders and such like with that. So that's the diamond lattice border, which you can use in many different ways. And one of the cutest in the cut and emboss folders, because this is just brilliant, and you can use it for anything. And of course, you can make shaker cards out of this, and very much more as well. So this is your decorative rose frame there, $12.99, $16.95. Now, the sentiment stamps. Let's have a little look through these. Now, I'm going to read through the ones because we haven't had a close look at these, have we? Because there are 2 different sets of sentiment stamps. So this is Sassy. So let me just read through some of those. There are so many beautiful reasons to be happy. Be your own kind of beautiful. That was the one that Craig used earlier. You're a bad idea, but I like bad ideas is one of them. Diva Queen is another one. Expect nothing, appreciate everything. Too glam to give a damn. I like that one. So that's your sassy sentiments, and there are many more besides, which is lovely. $4.99 in the UK, $6.99. There's also the other sentiments as well, which is the interchangeable ones. Now these are really cute actually. So these have got your family stamps in them. So auntie, niece, bestie, friend, sister, cousin. Thank you for being the best. You've got mum, nana, mom, gran, grandma. You've got what's your superpower? You're not just my. and laughing because there's nothing you can do about it. And there's lots more in those as well. So those sentiments are absolutely brilliant. Now, let's have a look at your stamp and dies. So here's the With Love. Now, yes, we've had a few requests to for Craig actually to have a little play with the perfume bottles. So we'll see what we can do. He's on it. Is that the next demo, Craig?
Yes.
Yeah, right. It's the next demo. So that's Scent with Love. So all of those wonderful Parisienne kind of atomizers and perfume bottles. It's funny, isn't it? Whenever you go into an antique store and you find one of those, you know, the bottom left one there with the squeezy bit, the atomizer. You always want to squeeze it, don't you? I don't know why. Little boys squeeze things like that because they think it's going to make some kind of horn noise or something. Anyway, $14.99 or $17.99. This is the one that Craig did the first demo with, and this is brilliant. The shaker cards. Remember the cocktail glass with the shaker card. So this has got the lemon on it, the straw, the glass itself. Plus, it's got those little banner sentiments as well. Love it, love it, love it. It's a brilliant one to have. It really is. And it's in some of the bundles as well. So $14.99 in the UK, $17.99. We've also got the Birthday Wishes one as well, which is that lovely cake, which I still haven't seen a slice of. Come over here, by the way. Just saying. So there you've got the cake. You've got the cupcake. And is that a little floral ice cream cone there as well?
It is, yeah.
That's beautiful, isn't it? I could do with a little bit of a floral ice cream. I was in Italy last week enjoying the gelato of many different flavours, and I could just do another one right now. $14.99 in the UK, $17.99. Everyone absolutely loving everything that we've got. I mean, there's people buying the rose gold Gemini machine today as well because they're just like, right, okay, I need it. There's people buying their foil press and the foils as well. Do grab the foils while you can because they go out of stock so quickly. Right, listen, let's go back. It's about time we went back to New York, where I've worked out it's about 7:15 now, Christine, in New York. So you're positively wide awake right now, aren't you?
Oh, sure I am.
So how are you getting on with your gorgeous, delicate rose gold mega structure?
Yeah, it's coming out really good.
At the crucial moment, Christine has frozen. We've seen you frozen in time, Christine. We're going to try and can we go back? Oh, we'll go back in a moment when we've unfrozen you. Oh, yes, I think we can. Yeah. I think we can. You've unfrozen again, Christine, just in time. Okay, right, let's try take two. How are you getting on with your delicate rose gold mega structure, Christine?
It's coming along pretty good. I hope I get it done before the end of the show.
Oh, are you gonna give us another little tease as to where you're up to? Oh,
sure, I can do that.
Go on.
Let me take some stuff off so you don't see everything yet.
Go on. You know how nosy I am. This is our second show together now, so you know how nosy I am. Oh, hello. Look at that, Craig.
I love it.
What is going on
intrigued to know what that's going to look like in the end.
I love it. Right, well, in the meantime then, as that's still coming together, and we've got another, 45 minutes for that to come together. I've got faith in you, Christine. It's fine. What else have you got that you've already made to show us that we haven't seen yet?
I only have 2 more things. Because you guys just called me like yesterday or the day before.
Oh, I know. Listen, we are the kings and queens of last minute. We love it. This is how we roll.
Anytime.
You know today, Christine, is Win It Wednesday, but it's also Wing It Wednesday as well, which is where we just fly by the seat of our pants. That is delicious. That is just so warming and inviting, Craig, isn't it?
It is, and that absolutely shows how you can completely change the look just by changing the colour of the collection. You wouldn't necessarily think that's from the rose gold collection. Is that the sparkle lights, is it, or the sparkle pots, Christine?
You know it is.
Yeah, I know, I know. So bringing in any of your sparkle elements, obviously it could be the sparkle inks or pots, it could be obviously any of your aqua elements as well, but just goes to show. And what I love about that kind of look, that style, if you made one exactly the same with the actual rose gold theme, the look, they would look completely different in the fact of the way that the colours just, they complement depending on which ones that you're doing. I just love that effect. Really love that effect.
You love the love.
I love the love. Love the love. Laird loves the love.
It reminds me.
There's a good one.
It reminds me of Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's really, really cool. I want to sit that out in the conservatory, near the chili plant with all the red chilies on it. Beautiful, beautiful. What else have you got there, Christine?
And the last thing I made.
Oh, now look at, come on, let us in. Ta-da!
Ta-da! Look at that.
How stunning. And again, that's very sort of classic Victorian garden kind of feel, isn't it? It's a completely different. And is that bringing together the two, are they all rose gold, or is that bringing together Nature's Garden and rose gold again?
No, all of it's rose gold.
Oh, yes, it is, isn't it? Yes,
Yeah.
it's the floral border, isn't it?
Do you know what's so elegant about that one as well? If you don't mind me saying, Christine, but what Christine, just used is what, white card, pattern paper, one of the dies, and one of the stamps, maybe. Obviously, a bit of gold cardstock as well. So it goes to show that you don't, although the collection is jam-packed full, you don't have to use everything to create such an effective, gorgeous-looking card. I love that one. And having the edgeable used actually on the inside as the gatefold card instead of being the edgeable.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. It's brilliant, isn't it? It just shows you. And I guess you've got many, many more ideas, Christine, up your sleeve as well. While you're sorting through your paper pads and making room to work. Right, listen, I'm going to be back with, we're now down to what? I'm not sure which clock to go by. What time is it in New York? Because my clocks seem to all be saying a different time, Christine.
7:16.
Okay, 7:16. I'll work on that. Okay, so we've got just under 45 minutes then. I shall leave it to you. I'll be back in a wee while though.
All right, see you in a bit.
All right, see you in a bit. Right, so many people on the comments just loving their rose gold collection. Absolutely loving it. Quick question for you, Craig, on this one. Shirley's asking, what gauge is the jewellery wire? Does she mean on the stamens?
Yeah, just when it comes to wrapping around the stamens at the bottom, it is the thinnest of thinnest jewellery wire, gardening wire. It's really, really, really thin.
I can probably tell you actually, because I've got a bit of an eye for this. Let me grab my stamens. Where are they?
If you even look at the piece of wire that's holding the stamens in, Derek.
Oh gosh, yes, right, yes. Actually, I can open this.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
That just goes to show how thin it is.
Let's go in. Oh yeah. Oh gosh. Right. Okay. So if we were making jewellery, because it's not really even a wire, is it? Actually, it doesn't really have a lot of structure, does it? The stamens. No. Yeah, I'll show you up close. It's tiny.
It's just enough to bind the stamens together that you're using and to feed through into the hole.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That would be that would be probably something like not even a 0.4 millimetre.
No.
Like the thinnest jewellery wire generally you can get is a 0.25. That wouldn't even be a 0.4, I wouldn't say.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant in my limited experience. See, I can bring something to the game every now and again. Now, while we're looking at these, let's have a quick look at the embellishment collection, because that is really, really good. In fact, lots and lots and lots of you. And who do I need to apologise for? Because I got your name wrong earlier. Susan. Susan's got 5 packs of sequins on the go. Now, you can buy individually if you want to, but actually the little pack there that we've got of the embellishments collection 4-piece, so that has got your superfine glitter, it's got the ribbons that go with the rose gold collection, the dimensional glue, and the sequins. And you get, I don't know how many sequins there are there, but there will be plenty to keep you going, but you will want more and more and more, because rose gold, it's funny, I come from a more of a background on TV talking to you about jewellery making, and also selling pieces of jewellery. So I know the general trend in jewellery over the last sort of 5 to 7 years has massively swayed from yellow gold, people buying yellow gold jewellery, to buying anything that is rose gold. And if you think about how much copper and things like that we have in our homes and our decor and our lives, we're just really, really attracted to rose gold, aren't we? Like a moth to a flame. It's beautiful. It really is. Right. So perfume bottles now, Craig.
Yes. We're going to go into the perfume bottles. We'll stamp and colour. Just quickly, I managed to get a wee distress tool for the foam. So what we'll do is just show you. So go back to where we were. So once you've die cut your flower, what you can do is just fold it all up, just so that you've got it you know, it doesn't have to be exact, but roughly in the one petal shape. Then all that I'm just going to do again, just roughly, just going to just fold it up together, nothing specific. Then we can see with the mat on this one here, you've got the grids, you've got the lines that we can maybe just see.
Yeah, they kind of run, they run north-south, don't they?
They do, yeah. Maybe if I, can you hear that?
Yeah, it sounds like you're a scratching DJ.
Yes. And then you've got the same on the finger, but it goes the opposite direction. So it goes the other way to what your mat does. So all that you just do, so let me do it that way, so in front of the camera. No, maybe that way will be better. So if we do it, so we're just popping it down, there we go. And then I'm just coming along with my finger and I'm just rolling back and forwards. And what that starts to do, it distresses it, but it also starts to pull and expand the flower as well. So what you can do is, once you're finished, you can do a little bit, you can go a bit longer. So then you can start to pull in the petals. So you can see here. So if I then, and this really makes it become so wafer thin. And all I can say is try it at home and then hold it in your hand. What I'm going to do in a moment, before we start the next demo, I'm going to sit it to the side and then I'll get Derek to come across and then he can he can pick it up and have a feel of it just to see the difference between. I've got one, so here's one that I've not touched. So let's just, there's two there, let's just quickly separate them ones. He says, if you can separate them. Right, so Derek, I'm going to set these to the side.
Yeah, okay.
If you want to just, one of them you'll see is two layers, so you'll just need to separate it.
Okay.
It's just so maybe Derek's got another good way of just explaining how different, how
oh
light
my gosh.
it feels by doing the texture effect.
Okay, so in another life, I talked to you on TV about fabric. So I'm going to equate it to fabric. So that is like feeling, I know that's two layers there, but that's like feeling, the one that hasn't been distressed is like feeling like a thick denim, let's say, that your jeans might be made of or something like this. And this feels a lot more like a lovely, it almost kind of silk-like. You know, it's just stunning. I mean, it's made such a difference. Well, you can see it, its volume, you know, it's far less dense. And it's got that lovely, and you can age that and distress that as much as you want to, Craig.
And you can still then, on top of that, go in with your ball tools and start to curve the edges. So you're going to get that nice, elegant flow of the curve, but you're still going to get that ruffle look of the distressed flower head. It looks so good, and it's certainly worthwhile doing that.
Can I just make a little confession there?
Go for it.
I didn't think it was going to make such a big difference. I thought, you know, sometimes tools are created, not saying here at all, I'm just saying that sometimes you know that tools have been made just as a thing. They don't really make a great big difference. You could probably do the same with your own finger, do you know what I mean? But that really does make a massive difference.
That's exactly how it came about. When Leanne had come up with, obviously, the collection of flower forming, what she was doing it by hand.
Yeah.
And she was sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting.
Forever.
And then this is where the idea of that tool came up with, because, you know, trying to do that over and over again, it was hurting her fingers.
Yeah.
So, right, let's move on. So let's go on to the perfume bottles. So you've got all your stamps again, all your main stamps, you get dies to go with them. So we're going to use this one to start with. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to swap I'm going to use the rustic brown for this one. Keeping again, you can do the blacks, but your rustic browns going into your rose golds, and that worked really well. So I've got a big selection already stamped and coloured, but we will do this one for you to see. So it's the rustic brown finesse alcohol proof, because I'm going to use our tri blends. So stamping mat, stamping platform, and then I'm just going to press that into place, and then we can see straight away. And I love, even with that texture, with the, what would you call it, Derek? What would you call that bit there? The
atomizer.
Is that what it is?
Yes,
Yeah.
or the squishy thing, if you like.
The squishy. That's what I was going to call it. I thought, no, it'd be a bit more professional. So you can see you've got all that texture as well that comes with it. So with it being our tri-blend pens, we're just going to colour that in. I'm folding that over just so that I've got a bit of card underneath. So let's go for fair skin blend, and we'll go for a pale pink blend. So what I'm just going to do is, so you can see just how we're just going to start to colour it. So let's go for the pale, we'll go for the fair end first. So we're just going to add just a bit of colour in here. So I'm just going to colour in each part to start with. Because they're nice and small, I'm just going straight over with the lightest end. And then what I'm just going to do is let's go to the other side, the fair skin, so the darker end. And I'm just lightly, it's just like tiny, tiny little dots there. Because they are small, intricate parts to colour in, you don't have to lay a lot of colour down, just enough to add a bit of an accent shadow to the side. So I'm just dabbing that, and then with the tri-blend pens, lots of info and tuition on online on our YouTube for the tri-blends, but I'm just pulling that deeper colour in. So I'm just very, very lightly, I'm not even going all the way to the other side, I'm just pulling, overlapping where that darkest dots are, just in. So let's carry on, let's do a wee bit more. So again, let's just colour all of that one in. And for anyone that's new to us or new to crafting or colouring, I've used the Finesse alcohol proof. It's because we are using an alcohol-based marker. So we need to make sure that the lines don't bleed once we start to colour in.
Craig, you know, we were talking about cake. Diane says she just put a sponge in the oven to cook. How funny is that? She's putting cream and homemade summer fruit jam in it when it's cooled. So that should be... The timing on that should be just about right for the end of the show then, shouldn't it?
My favourite cake ever, my favourite dessert ever is lemon meringue pie. I love lemon. But my favourite cake ever is a plain, you know, jam, vanilla birthday cake sponge.
Do you know the one I want to try that I never have done before? You know the one that's completely red? Do they call it velvet cake?
Red velvet cake.
I've never tried that before.
Never tried it.
Like, I just want some right now.
Yeah.
Does it just taste like sponge? Is the red a flavour? I don't know.
I think more of the red is the food colouring that's been added into the sponge, I think. I think that is. I'm not sure if you can add a red flavouring into the centre.
I just want some. Yeah, what does red taste like? That could be anything, couldn't it?
Could be.
Could be anything. Oh, I love the taste of red.
So I've just started to add that accent all the way around. Then what you could even do, if you want, actually I'm going to bring that just close up, so just so you can hopefully just see that shadowing, because we've gone really light, deliberately gone really light, so you can just start to see that shadowing coming in. But if you want as well, what you can do, although that we've coloured that in with it was the fair skin blend, I'm going to go in with the pale pink. I'm going to go with the mid-tone. And then once again, I'm just going to add just a few dots just to the left-hand side, just this one colour. So you don't have to use our pens in the three-tone blends if you want. I'm just going to add just a few wee dots of the pink, and that's just going to pick it up. So I'm just going to show you that one there so that you can see. So that's very subtle, but that pink just picks out and pulls out the shape of the bottle that wee bit more. So in good old style, if I bring in these ones here, so this is the one that I've done. Actually, I've done this one earlier on this morning, just before, well, a couple of hours before we went live. So that was the one there that I've done there. So then you can start to see a wee bit more deeper shade. So we've kept it all the same. And then I've done exactly the same with the other ones. And you don't have to mix and match the colours if you don't want to. You can just use that 2 colour tone blend and colour all the bottles exactly the same. So that's what we have done there. So let's move them out the way for the time being. We'll die cut this one. Let's bring in our Gemini Junior plates. So you have got your Quillen rose die in this one here. Perfect for your die cutting of your card or paper. You can still, of course, die cut your flower forming foam. You can easily enough cut that. So we'll just show you that. So whether it's foam or card, just lay that on just at a bit of an angle. So let's do a couple more. I've got ones already done and taped up, but again, it's just to show you that we can run that one through.
Craig?
Yeah.
Pam says that the red colour in red velvet cake might be beetroot.
No.
Now I quite like the taste, but does that mean the cake tastes of beetroot, or that's just used to colour it? You know, like you grate in carrot into a carrot cake.
I am one of those that I can sit for hours and watch, you know, like the Food Channel.
Yeah.
I don't get a lot of time for cooking. I love cooking. Don't get a lot of time now. I'd done a lot when I was in Shieldon for the 12 weeks. Well, it was mostly like cakes and stuff. Maybe I should have been eating healthier stuff. But yeah, and that actually rings a bell. Red velvet cake. Someone's saying that it's the beetroot. It's the dye from the beetroot.
Beetroot cake. I do like beetroot. It has to be vinegary beetroot though for me, not just plain. It has to be flavoured in some way. I'm grating a beetroot now, by the way. If you're thinking, what's he doing? I'm grating a beetroot. I don't know why. Anyway.
So what I'm just doing now is if I can just find my tweezers. If you've got a quilling tool, you maybe got one in our past quilling set. So all that you would just do is actually, let's use this one. So this one I've popped some red liner tape on. Keeping in mind this is still the flower foam, although you can use the card. So let's just take this one. Now what I've done, and see how I have gone right to the end. So where's my other bit? There we go. This one just here. So if I take my red tape off, if you find that with your cardstock, obviously the red tape will come off a lot easier. With your foam, you just need just a little bit of patience just to pull that back in off. And then what we're going to do is taking that one off, not playing game. It's not playing ball, isn't it?
We've got another half hour, Craig.
I know, but there's so much I want to show you.
I've got a quick question as well from Stephen, which is a good point. You know, we were talking about the distress tool and the difference that makes. Do you still heat the flour if you're going to use the distress tool? And which order would you distress first, then heat, or the other way round, or not one and the other? Or
you can do it either. 9 times out of 10, what I would do is heat it first. So you can heat it, still use the ball tool action like I showed you, and then what you can just start to do is then fold it up. So by doing it that way, you're adding a wee bit extra shape to it, and then you're coming along and distressing it afterwards. However, what you can do is distress it first, then shape it. What I don't want you thinking is if you distress it, add it to the heat, it's going to shrink up and go back to the normal size again. It won't, don't worry about that. So you can do it either or. So it's one of those personal preference and what you like the look of. Right, so we've got one off, so just need this last one off. And we're just going to take this one off just here, if I can get that. Let's go, we're just about there, he says. So, right, no, let's go at the other end. Let's go at the other end again. It's like Challenge Craig, isn't it? Taking that back.
You're doing well.
Well, don't know about that, but we're getting there. Out of anything that can stumble me, it's going to be the red liner tape, isn't it? Typical red liner tape.
Well,
so,
this shows you that perseverance pays off, because the end result that you'll see, there we go, got it.
So what to do is if you take that middle part first, because this is what's going to give the stamen look. Now, although it's the foam, you can ink it, you can colour it if you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach that one just to the end of the flowers. So just to the end, just there. So what that's going to do as well, so we're going to start with the stamens, then as we roll up, you're going to get that smaller flower within the middle. It's going to get larger and larger. So again, if you've got your quilling tool, you can use that one. You get an extra longer bit at the side here. Don't pop any tape onto there, because if you pop tape on and pop your tweezers, it's going to stick and it's going to make it a lot harder for you to take the tweezers off. So then all that I'm going to do is roll this round. So if you've got the tweezers that have got that fine point, so not this one at an angle, I do find that easier to use, but I'm going to tip it that way so you can see. So just like you would do if you know about quilling or used to it, I'm just turning it around. I'm just going all the way around. So I'm just turning. So we're just following it all the way around. Because you've popped the tape, you can, of course, it just sticks straight away. If you're using card or paper and you don't want to use red liner tape, use a wet glue and just add a wee bit of a glue as you go along. So we'd add a bit of wet glue, turn it, maybe hold it for a few seconds, add a wee bit more.
We've put the die details on its own there as well, but just to let you know, as well as the actual flowers, you've got, there's some leaves and there's some lovely foliage in with that one as well, $9.99 or $12.99.
So that's the back end. And then if I just turn this around, and then all that you're just going to do is just fold that over, and then you're just going to pull all these out. What I would do, and I would suggest whether it's the foam or whether it's paper. So for instance, here is the one that we've die cut. If you want to create a flower, ideally die cut 2. And then what to do, let's just pretend this is another one that I've die cut. Overlap them, so you see how we're just popping the next petal in between the ones underneath. So use your red liner tape, stick 2 together, like that, then roll it up, and then you're going to get a much more of a fuller flower that you can see there. But you get that effect. If you want to add stamens, you can do, because you've still got that wee hole in the middle, but you've got the stamens there ready for you to go.
And a lot of people saying in the comments, Craig, as well, that the best way of getting the stamens into the centre is by using the wee bit of wire that comes, the stamens are wrapped in, and use that to... sorry, I've preempted what you're about to do, haven't I? I'll just go.
No, I wasn't going to do it. No, you're okay.
Oh, okay.
No, you're right, though, it is. If you maybe have a wee bit of trouble with gripping or that, it's not a lot of wire, so you might want to dig out any wire that you've got at home. But absolutely, if you're fine, you're able to get a grip, then that wire will work perfectly, no problem.
Yes, and somebody in the comments has suggested a 32 gauge wire, which is the gauges that the US use in terms of measurements. I suggest in the UK, maybe a 0.25 jewellery wire if you've got one, or as small as you can go, basically. As long as it's under a 0.6 or a 0.5, you'll get it through eventually.
Okay, you'll get there.
Yeah.
You'll get there. Originally for this demo, I'm waiting to finish off, I had used the Rose Bloom embossing folder again. That's the one that we inked earlier on. But what to do is let's just change it slightly, and let's bring in the confetti burst just so that we can show you that. So then we're just going to use this just with some white card, because we're going to ink it. Again, we've got an emboss or deboss side. So let's just pop that one in. If you got, gosh, it was maybe about a year or so ago, when we done our foil press monogram stamp set, where you had your small individual letters to create a 3-letter monogram, we had a foil press stamp that was like a big star explosion as well, which would match that one perfectly. That would work really well. So we've got a few different things within our past ranges that would work great with it. So then if I lift that one up, and then I'm going, might need to tip it forward. So if I go forward, I am going to ink round the sides. And look at that again, that's just on a white card.
Oh,
look at that. Look at it, it's very much Star Wars-esque, even though I've never seen it before, kind of look to it. So then
that's a whole binge weekend, isn't it, Craig? The whole Star Wars thing.
It's not my
the best thing I've heard, and this is just my personal opinion and things that I've heard, not the opinion of Crafters Companion Limited, just in case George Lucas is watching, or Disney, or whoever it is that own it these days, that the original, is it 4 or 5? That's kind of worth doing. And then people have said, just rumours that I've heard, that since then they've kind of tailed off just a little bit. But I mean, the characters, Craig, don't you? You know Chewbacca, don't you?
I know. I'm fortunate enough to have been to Florida a couple of times. So I've been on the Star Wars, ride that they have there. So I have an idea of who the characters are. Yeah. But actually, just to agree with what you've just said, I've got a friend back home, Dean, who is a massive Star Wars fan. And I said to him once, I was like, right, what one do I start with? He says, well, you can watch the first one. He says, but what I would suggest is, watch maybe like the third one first. But if you're going to watch the third one, maybe actually start with the second. And I went, all I want to know, what one's the best? He says, well, maybe 4 or 5. So I was like, all I want to know, and I never did get round to watching them.
But you know what, Craig, what you need to do, because I'm a bit like you, I'm a bit non-committal when it comes to things like that, where there's a lot of films that I could be watching and I'm just not really sure if that's my kind of thing, is watch one of the original ones, and I think you'll be like, oh, actually, I like this. There's something comforting about it. You might not even be interested in the story, but then I think that will lead you to some of the other ones as well. That's stunning, Craig.
So I've done that explosion just so you could see the difference, but the original one I'd done the rose and I just inked round the sides instead of going over the top. So ink round the sides, right over the top. So that one was our water reactive, so it was our Friar Brown that I just used just to ink round all the way side. So again, maybe initially you wouldn't think of a brown to use within the collection, but go for it. So I've got just a bit of a stepper card, so anyone wanting to know, it is, so the original one is 11.5 by 5 inches, and then I've just created a wee stepper just at the bottom, so it was 4 inches along, and I've scored at 1.5 and then 3, just to create that stepper look. So we can start to assemble this now that we have got all the components together. So we're just going to layer all this one up. So we're going to pop that one onto there, and then I've taken a strip like that I done earlier on. So we've just done a bit of a slot just at the bottom, then we're just placing that one on just along the bottom, just there. And then what we could do, I've got one last bit of stamping to do. So I've already pre-mat and layered this one. I don't tend to do it, but I knew we would get a bit lost for time. So we've just got the actual stamping card. So I'm going to take the stamp set, which is the interchangeable sentiments. So I'm going to put, I'm smiling because you're my blank, and laughing because there's nothing you can do about it. So it's a bit like blankety blank. And I'm going to pop that one on just there. So let's stamp that one first. And then I'm just going to use seal brown for this one and use that one. This is quick dry. To be honest with you, I don't know why I picked up seal brown. I think it was meant to be Fryer brown again, but it doesn't matter. So we're just going to stamp. So maybe a wee bit heavier, but we've just put, I'm smiling because you are my, and then we've got auntie, niece, bestie, friend, sister, cousin, grandma, gran, mum, nana. You've got a few different ones as well.
Oh, so we've just started something, Craig.
Uh-oh.
We've just started something.
Is that people saying they can't believe I've never watched it?
Yeah, LJ's summing up probably what we're all feeling one way or the other. How can you never have seen Star Wars, even as a kid?
Nope.
Sacrilege, lol. Return of the Jedi is the best one. 1 and 2 is a word I can't say at this time of the day in the UK or the US. Newest ones, so-so, says LJ. Barbie says the red food colouring is cochineal for the red velvet cake. Now, if I remember rightly, cochineal is made, if you're squeamish, put your fingers in your ears. It's made out of crushed beetles, isn't it? Cochineal, I think. That's how they make it. Yeah, LJ says 1 and 2, not so good. Return of the Jedi, my favourite. Yeah, Barbie's saying that, yeah, I think you're right, Helen, that cochineal is derived from a little beetle, which is...
I think you would all be shocked and surprised at the amount of, like popular films that I've never actually seen before. I love films. I love sitting and watching a film, but it's
okay,
probably...
let me throw some at you then. Classics.
Yep.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Nope.
Sound of Music.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
E.T.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh
okay.
yeah. It's probably the first one that ever made me cry.
Oh okay. Right. I think we've found the level now. So do I need to go towards things like the Care Bears and stuff like that, or can I go more action adventure? Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Nope.
Even I've seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I'm really, actually, to be honest, I'm really not a film fan. And this weekend, I've seen a Brad Pitt film called Ad Astra, and I would absolutely recommend that, Craig, if you like the old, space, kind of story.
No, he's just space/sci-fi.
No, it's not sci-fi.
That I'm just not into.
It's not sci-fi. It's one of those. We need to save the world by going and achieving something that just happens to be in space. You're not convinced, are you?
No.
What about? Okay, so not Star Wars. So have you ever seen Star Trek?
Nope.
No.
My gran loves Star Trek.
Battlestar Galactica.
No, not anything along that theme. No, because I'm
no.
Sci-fi dwarf. No.
No Red Dwarf?
No, my stepdad loves that, but no.
Right.
Never seen it. Never seen an episode.
So no other kind of fantasy films?
No, I wouldn't say fantasy, no.
No. Jurassic Park?
Oh, yeah.
Right, hang on, but that's fantasy as well, is it? It's not exactly happening anywhere, is it?
Well, it was Jurassic Park. Dinosaurs were real.
Yes, they were, but quite a few...
It was still real. Jurassic Park's... dinosaurs still happen.
I know there's a logic to this, Craig, but the dinosaurs were around just a few weeks earlier than, we started running around in our genes.
Well, it doesn't matter. All these years ago, you just still didn't have a Spock up there, determine what... I don't know what happens. What's Spock done? I don't know.
Craig, you haven't been yet, have you? So, there are worlds still to be discovered. Wow, we've opened up a can of worms.
Haven't we?
15 minutes to go. That's no good. We'll have to carry that on this afternoon.
Put it this way. Yeah, I love, obviously, action and thrillers. Believe it or not, horror. You couldn't go to total opposite ends. Horrors, gory horrors, and chick flicks, romance films.
Oh, right. So you've seen things like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and stuff like... Oh, so you've seen all of that?
Yeah. Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Notting Hill. These two.
Right. Okay. Anyway, right. Let's finish
So,
off, shall we?
Just pulling that all the way back into the rose gold theme.
Yes, if you could.
What we've just done there is we just layered up the stamps that we had just done before, and I've just taken the flower that I created. I did use the one where I'd popped the actual stamens in the middle, a few accessories, the stamps that we stamp cut out, so you can see from the side that way. That's how it looks from the side, so you can see there. And then if I turn it that way, this is how it looks. So again, dimensional, just with the flowers as well as the stamps, but even this style will fold flat as well, and it'll still go through into an envelope. But another style in which you can create no dinosaurs or sci-fi elements on that one at all.
No. But we will be doing Christmas later on today.
No, Christmas film is a totally different kettle of fish.
Okay, so that's a conversation for a little bit later. Right, let's move straight on before we get dragged back into that conversation. Let's go to the foils, because if you want to stock up on your foils, you can buy them individually, £3.99, $4.95, or there is a multi-buy for those as well. His face has lit up now. He's thinking of Christmas films. Two for £6. Two for £6. Or $7, which is brilliant. So do stock on with those quickly while you can. Right, okay, we are going to go, I think, oh yes, we're going to show you some Totally Tiffany items. Then we're going back to New York to catch up with Christine and see this amazing creation that she has created for us. So it's the Crazy Card Making Set from Totally Tiffany. It's really cool, actually. The structure inside that storage is really, really good, actually. Great for your dies and your stamps and just your general storage bits and pieces. If you're like me and you've got a bit here and a bit there and a bit everywhere. And the great thing about this storage is that you can see what's inside it there as well. £13.49, $15.29, saving 10% there as well. Moving on, more from Totally Tiffany. We've got the paper handler combo, which again, great for actually basically a brilliant carrying case for your papers and for your folders. It's really good. It's really good and sturdy. I haven't actually got one here to show you, but they are really, really nice and sturdy as well. So it's just a different way of porting around those bits and pieces. It's a good way of organising your stash as well. And I think we're all taking inspiration from Christine in New York and how to do that as well with her beautiful display that we're going back to in a second. £8.99 or $10.79. We've also got the 12-inch pop-up trash can. I definitely need one of these because there is never a trash can, or a bin as we call it here, close to where you are. And to have just one that just pops up and can you know easy to get around. You can take that straight to your main trash can or your recycling or whatever, and get it around very, very easily. It keeps you nice and tidy if you decide to work in a different room or on the dining room table, as I tend to. £10.79 or $13.49. And then we've got the Irene, which had Craig and I singing Come On Eileen first thing this morning before we even came on air. This is brilliant. It's fantastic because, again, it is that storage. Think about your inks or your pens. You may well be storing some of your pens. You may not have gone to the big storage that we have for some of your markers or something like that. You might just want to keep them all where you can see what's in there. Maybe if you're going off to a class as well, this is really, really handy indeed. So that is your buddy bag. I would stock up and get a couple of those actually because they're really, really useful. And actually, I've just had another idea for those. You can make mini greenhouses out of those. If you're in the UK and we don't have the greatest weather sometimes, if you're trying to bring on seedlings. This all comes from me watching Gardener's World last night again. I'm still playing catch up on Gardener's World. Anyway, right, okay. We are going to take a final visit in the show off to New York to go and see Christine and find out how things are going. Are you all plugged in, Christine? Are you receiving the UK? There we are.
At this
Welcome
moment,
back.
we are. Thank you.
Somebody was asking in the comments what time you were up this morning to be with us at what is New York time starting 6 a.m.
Yeah, that's... So a lot of the girls hung out with me last night, and I didn't go to sleep.
Oh, really?
So that's why
you're throwing an all-nighter, Christine. Get you down with the kids. Love it.
I did. Yes, I did what I could do.
Wow.
So Yeah.
So you're gonna sleep through the day now. I would definitely do that. I'm so lightweight.
I'm wide awake. I don't know.
Oh, okay. You'll be crafting away. Now, how's our creation coming on?
It's okay. I had to hurry at the end here, so it's not as good as I wanted it.
Oh, come on. It'll be beautiful. They always are, Christine. They're absolutely beautiful. Come on. Reveal all. Oh, my word.
Wow.
Oh,
I don't know if I
my
like
word.
the cake up there or not, but
Just
the cake could go
give that
down
a little
very
bit
well.
of a shimmy, just so that we can see the sparkle on the sentiment. Oh, you've put different sentiments around, haven't you? So you've got happy birthday on one side and wish on the other side, and is that love over there?
Yes.
I tell you what, we are all in love with that card.
Thank you.
That's
I
awesome,
found,
Craig, isn't it?
I found the design online. I can't take credit for that, but yeah, I made it my own.
No, I love it. And actually, Craig, that is a perfect way of bringing all of the different elements into one spectacular. I mean, that could be a centerpiece for a table.
You've taken the words right out my mouth. I was about to say exactly the same. It could be a centerpiece. What about as well if you're having parties, you know, when we're allowed to big gatherings again, you know, if you've got balloons, helium balloons, that could be, you know, the holder to hold them down at the bottom, decorate it yourself. But yeah, you've got the wedding cake there. So of course, obviously it could be for birthdays or that, but you know, the centerpiece for weddings. Change the theme as well. So obviously run with the theme Christine's done, but it could be Christmas theme. Think of these and think of an elegant Christmas as well. Bring in any Christmas stamps or Christmas sentiments. Nothing stopping you having running that all the way through as well. I love how dimensional that is as well, and just using just a few elements as well, and it looks spectacular. Love it.
Christine, I've just had a little bit of an idea there as well. Imagine if you were celebrating somebody's, you know, again, as Craig says, when we can do gatherings again. And for instance, it was my father's 80th birthday last year, so we had a bit of a shindig and everything else, and you like to get the old photos out, don't you?
Right.
And I had one of those big pull-up banners made, but I think where you have a cake there, if that was a 60th or an 80th or a 40th or a 21st, you could have those old embarrassing pictures of the person sitting at the top all the way round in the center of the table, couldn't you?
Well, you could put pictures on all of the cubes too.
Of course. Oh, I love it. And I love Craig's idea as well of using that as a way of where you have the helium balloons and the weights at the bottom, hiding those, because they're often quite ugly, aren't they? Yeah. You could hide them in the center of those. Now, one question in the comments, Christine, on that one. Will it fold? Oh, now get you.
Look at that.
Now that
well,
is
as good as it's going to get, you know.
No, that's brilliant.
Look at that.
I have too many. If I didn't have all these embellishments on it, this middle one would fold flat. See?
Oh, I love it.
Oops, sorry.
Wow.
I love it. Well, listen, Christine, I'm not going to give up with this idea. I'm going to feed it to Sarah about, you know, us doing a bit of a play swap. I'll come and play in your store, and you come here.
My store.
Exchange.
Let's
flights.
do it. I would so do that. You don't even know.
I would love that. We definitely have to meet somewhere in the middle for a gin and tonic, though. That's definitely Listen, Christine, thank you so much for being with us. So bright and breezy first thing in the morning. I know you'll keep in touch with everyone on the Facebook page, and your girls. Hello to your girls as well. Who
My girls.
I know be watching. Yeah,
they're so fantastic. We have such a good time. I wanted to ask you how your vacation was too.
Oh, do you know, it was wonderful. I was in Pisa in Italy, and if anything, it was a little bit, I was complaining ever so slightly, get your small violin out. There was a heat wave in Italy, so I was walking around very slowly and very hot in 35-degree heat, but it was wonderful to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa with no people in front of it. Oh, it was awesome. Thank you very much.
Did you hold your hand up, like, and take a picture of, like, you're holding it up?
No, I didn't do that. I couldn't. I just thought, no, too tacky. Too tacky. Everyone has done that in the world. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Maybe one day. Listen, Christine, as always, lots of love from both of us and everyone watching as well. I know we're going to see you on another show soon, and then we'll arrange that exchange visit as well.
Definitely.
Let's do it. Lots of love. See you soon, Christine.
See you later.
All right, bye, Derek. Bye, Craig.
Bye.
She is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So good.
I mean, really.
Wow. I know.
To do that at what? It's Not even 8 o'clock in the morning in New York.
Absolutely, I know, yeah. And it's seen obviously after Christine's last visit in a couple of weeks ago too. Love seeing everything that's just popping through, and just seeing so many people just complimenting on what she's making and that as well. Just love to see what you're making as well. So lots of information as to how you could be popping up on our shows as well in the future.
Right, now you have got a matter of a few moments. What can you squeeze in?
So in a few moments, I'm going to make a pop-up box. Now, you may be familiar with our pop-up box. So I've already got one already made. So if you're not sure, that again, we've got lots on YouTube, but this is just taking the pop-up box element. So we've just done that you know and love. So you can see I've just popped a bit of our pattern paper on the back. So then let's just bring in a few others. So we've got these pads just here that I've already matted and layered. So let's just add our adhesive on. So this is just from the 6x6 paper pad. So actually following on a wee bit from Christine's being the dimensional. So let's bring all these together. So don't forget, as you are getting the some glitters as well as embossing powder. So where you've seen myself do in some inking with the sentiments, why not do your embossing? Because you've got that element with it as well. But let's just pop all these together. So you know how relatively quick and simple it is to create a pop-up box if you got either a roll occasion or the Christmas. Little heads up, I do have a show in less than a week where we're going to be focusing on the pop-up boxes as well, so keep your eyes peeled for them ones. So there we go. So there is the pop-up element already done. So I've taken already the birthday wishes, and I actually done these ones last night where I sat and coloured them in. So what I've just done is taken the birthday cake, so just stamped out, just added a wee bit of extra colour, again taking the roses which also come within that same stamp set. I know it looks like it's just 3 stamps, but there's 24 in total because you've got the stamps as well as the dies. So I've done that twice, that you can see there, and I've just added just a bit of acetate to the bottom. Then what I've done is I've taken the cone that Derek loves and done exactly the same, coloured and layered up, popped a bit of acetate to the base.
It just reminds me of those wonderful Italian gelatos. You know, they have flavours that you just don't get here in the UK.
Exactly,
and you just want every one of them. You just want them.
And exactly the same with the cupcake theme, just stamped, coloured and cut out as well. So that's all that I'd done beforehand, was stamped, cut and coloured. So then what we can do is let's just bring in, I'm going to come back and just attach this with red liner tape after, but just for time and speed, let's go for the wedding cake first. So it's wedding cakes. It could of course be birthday cakes. Colour them Christmas themed if you want. So I'm going to add adhesive just to the front of the acetate. So let's do 2 of them. So then I'm going to go to the 3rd tier just at the back, so this back one. So then let's just, so I'm doing this by looking in at my monitor. So I'm just going to look at my monitor so I can see, because I don't want to turn it around, otherwise you won't see it. So you can see, so I'm just popping that way. And then I'm going to pop that one just to the side, just there. So it's kind of having the larger ones towards the back. Then let's go for the 2 ice creams. So let's pop, again, just a bit of tape to the front of the acetate. And then I'm going to go for the 2nd tier in there. And then we could pop that one. So I'm going to do that a bit lower down. So let's actually add a wee bit of tape further up. So again, that one could be just poking out just underneath the wedding cake. And then what we're going to do again for this one can then go maybe just slightly towards the middle, having them at different angles. So let's just tape that one just there. And then let's take a couple of these cupcakes. So what I'm going to do is, let's do one. So I'm going to pop that right to the front of the box, just on the back. And then these other 2, let's just add a bit of adhesive to it. So wrong side, there we go. So again, let's just pop that quite low down as well. And then we're going to do exactly the same with the 3rd one. Bit of adhesive just to the bottom of the acetate. Let's poke that one in. Then I've got one of the sentiments that says live, love and sparkle. So that's just with ink. However, you can of course come with the embossing powders that come within the set. So we're just going to pop that on, And we're then just going to pop that one to the front. So that one, let's do it. I'm going to do it in the monitor again. Let's get it pretty straight. There we go. So there we go. Press that into place. So yes, I had it all cut out and I had it all coloured in that, but just goes to show how you can make an even more dimensional pop-up box. So although you don't get the pop-up box element, you can still do the pop-up box if you've got it from our last creation. And then there we go. Easy to fold, easy to post. So it could be birthday, could be wedding, could be Christmas, could be any occasion.
Wonderful. I love that. It's great fun as well, isn't it? It's great seeing the elements move around as well. And that just makes a card really, really distinctive, doesn't it? Right, it's time to wrap up the show. I know, I can't believe it. It's gone so quickly as well. So let me show you everything, or it's actually a list of everything that is coming up in the big bundle of the Rose Gold collection. I'm sure now you've seen so much of it over the last 2 hours. If you haven't yet gone for the full collection, when you consider that your Platinum membership will take your UK price to £124 and your US price to $160 if you're a Platinum Club Inspire member. It's brilliant, and there's so much there. All of the dies, the dimensional glitter, the foil stamp and die with the frames. You've got all of the embellishments, the stamens. You've got the flower forming foal, the actual flower forming foal. It's not a foal, it's not a small horse, it's foam. I don't know where I've got. Those words always get me every single time. You've got the other metal dies in there as well. You've got the embossing folders. There's so much in there. Now, our usual price on this is nearly £210, nearly $270. So you can see today's price there. You're making a nice big saving anywhere there at £155 or $200. But of course, your Club Inspire membership, that's your friend, really, isn't it? Because pretty much no one at all is paying that price on the screen. No. That's the great thing about Club Inspire, is you can look at the prices on our screen and go, no, 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 I'm not paying that price, thank you very much. It's wonderful. It is something to celebrate. It's brilliant when you are shopping the show and the website is doing all of that adding up for you, or the taking away for you and showing you your price as opposed to the price that we're showing on the screen. It is brilliant. Now remember, you can break down the larger collection into smaller bundles as well. There's quite a few of those smaller bundles, and you can buy everything individually, and lots of you have been stocking up on individual bits and pieces, especially things like the flower forming foam, and also your foil press. That's been very, very popular in the last couple of hours as well, as has I love you. It is the Rose Gold Gemini Junior. It is lovely. Listen, it's not going to be around forever, so if you want yours and you've been thinking about it, then grab it. You've got your foils on a multi-buy and a partridge in a pear tree. Listen, you carry on shopping the show as well. Craig, thank you for amazing demonstrations again today.
Thank you. So I just wondered for a moment what was under my arm, but it's just the iron from before. What's that?
Yeah, it looks like a little...
yeah, no, you're more than welcome. I had an absolute blast with this Rose Gold Masterclass being the first one. We are back again at 4 o'clock, myself and Derek. It's all Christmas themed. We've got Christmas ink, we've got Christmas stamping, Christmas embossing, we've got Christmas galore, 2 hours of Christmas. I, for one, cannot wait.
Have you got a Christmas shirt, though? Because I know...
Do you know something? The one time we do something Christmas themed, I think I have to go home.
Yeah, I think you do. Because I've got to show you straight after the show, I've got either a shirt option or a t-shirt option, and I'm going to show you both and let you choose. Actually, that looks like a space rocket under your arm, ready to launch. Doesn't it? There's going to be a launch at the back of the Crafters TV studio.
There we go.
Up into space.
Not launch party yet.
No, that's true. That's true. I'm going to try and talk him into some more of these classic films as well. This young man doesn't know what he's missing at all. So yes, as Craig says, we're doing Christmas, 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 Christmas.
What are we doing?
Christmas, I think. Yeah, something a little bit festive. So that will be at 11 a.m. on the East Coast for you, 8 a.m. on the West Coast. So I know Christine and her girls, they're going to get a few hours there. And please make sure your alarms are set back in time for the show later as well, because we're going to have a lot of fun. You know we're going to have a lot of fun. We haven't even started the show yet, and you know it's going to be fun. So we'll see you back here with Creative Cravings, and it's Christmas a little bit later on. See you now.